Hi guys, welcome to my channel, The Golden Cruiser. I'm Cindy, and today we're going to be talking about 10 reasons why you could be denied boarding your cruise. Now, can a passenger be denied boarding their cruise if they've planned for months or even years once they get to the cruise terminal? Sure they can. So let's take a look at the 10 most common reasons you could be denied boarding the cruise ship. Number one is forgetting your documents, personal documents such as your passports, driver's license, birth certificates, whatever ID is required for you to get on that specific cruise. That's why the first thing you should do is make sure you have all your documents in your carry-on bag or in your purse or in something you're carrying on the cruise with you. Do not put these in your luggage that has already been taken with the porter on the ship. Make sure they are on it with you. Check to make sure you have all the required documents that are needed for that cruise. Some cruises need a visa. It just depends on where you're cruising to. So check with the cruise ship, make sure what you need, make sure you have it all correct. Make sure if you're traveling with younger children, if they're under 15 and under, they can travel with just a birth certificate. So just check on the documents that are needed for each person that's going on the cruise. Actually call the cruise line and verify this. Don't just ask people on a Facebook group, what do I need to cruise, or ask a friend or something. Don't do that. Make sure you know what it is by calling the cruise line. Number two is carrying prohibited items. So as I'm sure you know, first-time cruisers may not. You go through security before boarding the ship. Just like an airport, you're going to go through security. They're going to check your carry-on bags through the x-ray machine. You're going to walk through where the metal detectors are. So make sure you know what items are allowed on board before you go and what are not. And you can find those on your cruise lines information. You can find out what is needed. I also have on my channel a video which shows all the banned items on cruise ships. So I would take a look at that, watch mine or watch somebody else's on YouTube that tells you what not to take, because you don't want to end up, depending on what you're trying to take on board, you could be banned for life, kicked off the cruise. So don't go on board with any drugs or any kind. No marijuana, even though it might be allowed in where you live or where you're going, it's not allowed on a ship. Certain cruise lines do have drug sniffing dogs in the cruise terminal. So be aware of that and just be careful of what you're trying to bring on board. A lot of people have accidentally, they said, packed their gun. They forgot it was in their bag they were taking on. Something like that's going to get you banned for life. So just be careful, know what you're allowed to bring on and what you're not. Number three is being sick. Now, if you have a specific illness or special needs, you need to let the cruise line know before your departure. The cruise lines are responsible for ensuring your well-being on the cruise ship, and their medical facility is only equipped really to take care of small things and not major problems. So make sure to let them know if you have a condition that would need, treatment or something on board. Also, if you are currently sick with like the flu or COVID or something like that, don't bring that on board. A cruise ship's like a petri dish. It just spreads because you're in such closed quarters. People get the neurovirus and COVID, and then it just takes over the whole ship. So if you're sick, make sure you've taken that travel insurance, and then you can just cancel, get your money back, and rebook when you're better. So don't go on a cruise sick. Number four, the ship is overbooked. Now, this is a little scary to think about, but it does happen sometimes. Cruise ships can overbook. The cruise line actually lets more people book than they have cabins for because they're assuming so many people are going to cancel, so many people aren't going to show up at the cruise ship. But in some cases, everybody has shown up, nobody is canceled, and that certain person gets there and they say, sorry, the ship is overbooked, and they don't let you on. They try to make arrangements to get you on a different ship or give you a deal on your next cruise. But here I'll put up a picture. It's a letter that the people were handed when they got to the cruise terminal stating that sorry, they couldn't go on the ship. It was overbooked. I know it would make me very upset and very mad because you've made all these arrangements to like fly into the port, hotel rooms, etc. But just know that they can do that. It's in the small details. They can tell you, sorry, we're overbooked and not let you on the ship. Doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. Number 5 is you're pregnant and your due date is too close. If you're pregnant, you can still cruise, but you must be in the early part of your pregnancy. Usually cruise lines don't allow women to board when you've reached the 23rd week of pregnancy. So again, check with the cruise line, check with each cruise line. Actually call the cruise line. Don't just ask someone on Facebook or ask a friend. Call them and make sure, because the cruise medical facility on board, they're not equipped to deliver babies or if there's a problem with your pregnancy. So that's why they don't let women in the earlier stages on board. They're not prejudiced against them. It's just because of the medical facilities aren't equipped to handle that. So just check with the cruise line if you're going on board and you're pregnant to see what their timeline is for your pregnancy so when you can cruise. Number 6 is security concerns. Now, all cruise lines have the right to check passengers who will board, so they can actually do like a background check on you before you get on board, and you can be denied boarding depending on what they found out. There might be immigration issues, you might have outstanding warrants or pending legal actions. Your name could have been on a travel ban list. So just be aware of that. One time we were on a cruise and we had just boarded. We were actually on the ship and just in our cabin, just putting our luggage away. We had just gotten it. And the security, Homeland Security, they came to our cabin and asked my husband, his name. He said, yes, that's me. And they said, well, you've been reported missing. And he said, reported missing by who? I'm right here. I'm not missing. Well, one of his adult son hadn't heard from him in a while because we went on vacation and didn't tell him. And so he had reported his dad missing. We weren't even aware of this. So he said, no, I'm not missing. I'm just on vacation. And of course, he had to call his son and tell him. I don't know. But yeah, they know about you before you get on the ship. So just know that that is one of the reasons you could be denied. Number 7 is unsettled debt. So before you depart your cruise, make sure you've paid it all in full, even the port fees and any extra service fees that were on there. Make sure it's all paid for. If you haven't done this by the time you're getting to board your cruise, they're going to then probably say to you, well, I need a credit card right now or something or cash to pay this off before you get on board the ship. And if you don't have one with you or say you thought you could pay it at a later time or something, that's not the case. They can ban you and you can't even get on the ship. So make sure you've taken care of that and paid for your cruise some way or another. Number 8 is lack of parental consent. Now this is if, say, for example, I was going to take my granddaughter with me by myself and I'm not the actual parent or guardian, legal guardian, I would need a letter signed by her parents, both of them, saying they consent to me taking her on board. You have to have a letter from the actual parents. So it has to be at least one parent or a legal guardian going on with a minor to get them on the ship. Otherwise, you have to have additional paperwork. So if you're traveling with someone that is not your legal, child or your legal guardian, make sure you check with the cruise line, not other people, the cruise line, and because each one is a little different, and see what you need to bring on board to get on board. Otherwise, you're going to be denied getting on board. Number 9 is arriving too late. One common way to get denied boarding is if you show up at the terminal too late and that ship may still be there, but they're done boarding and they won't let you on. They will not let you on if they are done with boarding. So even if your flight is delayed or something happened that was out of your control, they won't let you board. So that's why I always say, and everybody says, if possible, come the day before, the night before, stay in a hotel, then get up early and get to your cruise ship on time. You never know what traffic you're going to get into. That's why we always go early. If you can possibly do that, you want to be there as early as possible so you're not in that traffic jam and then you get left standing there and you can't get on your ship. That's just very sad. So try to go the day before if possible. And then number 10 is unruly behavior. Of course, if you're fighting with someone there before getting on the ship, or you're arguing and fighting with one of the crew members, you could be denied boarding at all. So just keep your manners, be nice. You're going on a cruise, have a wonderful time. Don't fight. Get along with everyone. So there you have it. There's 10 ways that you could be denied boarding. So just make sure you have all your documents, everything's good to go, and you'll have a wonderful trip. So I want to thank you all for stopping by today. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel to help me grow. And I hope to see you all again real soon on my channel, The Golden Cruiser.